I'm going to answer some of the questions that you posted on my Facebook page. Caitlin asks, would you ever consider making a story about what happened to the other foster children? That's quite interesting, Caitlin. I'm particularly fond of Hetty and feel that I should always concentrate on her. But there is that little sister Eliza who's still at the Foundling Hospital. There's maybe some possibilities there. I'll keep you posted. Then Lorna asks, when you were young, were you more like Hetty, Diamond, Eliza, or Martha? I don't actually think I was really like any of them. Possibly, if I had to choose, I probably was more like Hetty, though I haven't got red hair. I could have a bit of a temper sometimes, though mostly I was quite quiet and well behaved with my head in a book. Caitlin says, did you have to do research about Victorians before you wrote Hetty Feather? Yes, I did, Caitlin. I knew a bit about the Victorians anyway, because I've always been interested in them and I like to read Victorian books. But if you are writing an actual book, you have to be as careful as you can and have to find out all sorts of facts. And so I did read quite a lot of Victorian social history and also novels of the time. And I've kept on doing that, partly to increase my knowledge and partly just because I find it fascinating. Kirsten says, what gave you the inspiration to come up with all three of her names? Sapphire Battersea just sounds so tropical and Emerald Star is so original. Oh, thank you. I've always liked to have attractive, interesting, slightly unusual names. But I thought particularly for Hetty, she wants to make herself. She wants to be an individual. And therefore, she doesn't want to be stuck with the name Hetty Feather that the people at the Foundling Hospital gave her. She wants to rename herself. And very interestingly, I met a lovely, very elderly lady who had been at the Foundling Hospital, not obviously in Victorian times, but in the 1940s, 1950s. And she has given herself various names throughout her life. It's as if you're continually trying to remake yourself, renew yourself, and that's exactly what my Hetty does. Bonnie says, you say Victorians are your favourite history subject. Are there any others that you enjoy and why? Would you consider writing stories set in different periods, like in Queenie? Well, yes, certainly Queenie was easy for me to write because I was a child in the 1950s, and so I didn't have to do any research at all. I remembered it all. I am quite interested in Edwardian times, so don't be at all surprised if you get to read a Jacqueline Wilson novel set around, say, the 1910s, 1913s, something like that. But probably I wouldn't go further back in time. Maybe the 1920s, that's also an interesting era. Maybe this is a whole new start.